I've wanted to do this video for a while, and I figured now's a good time. I'm going to work on reorganizing the shop, reorganizing my office, the printer room, just a bunch of infrastructure work. The industry is kind of slow right now with all the strikes and possible strikes and stuff. So I have a little bit of leeway in between prop jobs to work on some infrastructure since I've moved in. And also I've had some time to settle and figure out the space a little bit. I find that when I move into a space or when I'm working, I need to figure out the sort of flow in the area, where I like to work, where I don't like to work, and then build and sort of design for that. So I've had enough of that time now. And there's a lot of things in this place that are very annoying. So I'm going to solve a bunch of those problems, hopefully, and make the place a little nicer. Yeah. So do a little shop tour first, so we can see what it looks like now, what I've been working in for the last like 6 months. And then hopefully take you along for the journey of figuring out where everything goes. And then we can have a little comparison at the end. I am shooting a little bit on a wider angle, so it looks bigger than it is. But you come down the stairs. Right now I've got this table that I got from a previous workplace. It's been really great. I had the printers on it in my previous shop. Now it just sort of is an extra space, but doesn't really happen or get used a lot. It's sort of a landing area. I drop shit here very often as I come down the stairs, as you can tell by the drill being there. And then the sort of sander, drill press, bandsaw sort of come and go as they're being used. So I want a more permanent setup for them. The wall on this side all has shelving that was left by the previous tenant. I asked them to leave it in. They were going to get rid of it, but I need a place to just land everything when I was coming from my bigger shop. And then this was my computer desk in my previous shop. Now it's my work desk. I like working at a stand-up desk, and then I have a stool in case I want to, sit down for longer periods. But I find I'm in and out on my feet a lot, so stand-up desk works great for me. We've got the charging station. I built that when I moved in. Well, I had it, but I installed it when I moved in, put in all the pegboarding and stuff. And then these are all bins that I got from a friend of mine. They were upgrading their storage system. And I just got a bunch of free stuff. And when I was starting my shop, free stuff was great. They'll probably stay, but get organized better. Yeah, then we've got a bunch of shite over here, sort of paint exploding everywhere and random stuff in drawers. And then a bunch of those bins that go with this rolling rack. As you can tell, it's not full. I'd like to outfit it so it's actually got stuff in it. All the stuff is labeled and it's actually useful as opposed to just being sort of dead space right now. Then we've got our lovely little Dexter room where I do my painting. I'd like to make this table bigger. It's this size because originally the room was smaller, and then I've made the room bigger, and I've never gotten around to making the table bigger. Yeah, that will also get done. I'll probably redo this plasticking. I've made it sort of twice and haphazarded it together, and I don't like how it's mounted around the window, and yeah, lots of stuff. It also has LED lighting up here. It's just not on. And then, yeah, lighting. I bought some cheapo LED strips, and I just ran them back and forth on the top. I like leaving it open because I sometimes clamp to it. When I have my phone on that mount, then I can clamp to the ceiling and I can do top-down views and stuff nicely with that. But I think maybe stringers go this way on the rafters, or run strips of styrofoam or chloroplast or something, and run them on there, because as you can see, they're starting to fall down just because the sticky stuff doesn't like wood. And anytime I bump it and they fall off and I restick it, it's got like 2 or 3 resticks and then it just doesn't stick anymore. Yeah, so lighting more better. This, I'm gonna get rid of these shelves. This is gonna become a work surface, a seated one, because this vent here is lower than my head. which is why that little corner there has foam on it, because I hit my head on it all the time. Yeah, have a table that is sitting height. I think that'll stop me from walking over here as much, so I hit my head less. And then I can have a soldering station that's sort of out. I can have my sewing machine and sewing station sort of set, and just have like more sort of stationy things that I don't have to constantly turn this table into a sewing area. And then if I get another job that's not sewing, have to put all the sewing stuff away, and nonsense here and nonsense there. So yeah, have designated areas for some stuff. So yeah, nothing too crazy down here. Better lights, table down that side, organize everything better, because I have a lot of shit just landed when I got here, and has never really found a home, or it's developed its own home, and that needs to stop. So we're going to sort that out. But first, let's look at the office and the 3D printing room. 3D printers. We are now upstairs, and yeah, not super useful the way it's set up. There are still printers on the ground. There's a resin printer back there, and there's a printer under there. Lola's table is still nice from when I made that. That'll stay, though I do want to route it out the window so I can stop using filters. But yeah, I think there'll probably be a table here with maybe all the FDM printers on it. If these move off, then these two and that guy can come up here. And then a table along that wall, and maybe like L-shaped, so it comes over. And the rest of the printers, some FDM might have to go over there. Actually, it's probably better FDM runs on this side, because sun come up, go over like this. That's south, that's east. And Canada, a lot of sun does this. We don't see a lot of like straight sun. So that's why that has a cover on it, is I was getting quite direct sunlight on it. And it has a bit of a UV screen on it, but over time it was creating a cured film on the surface. So resin printers may be over here, less sun, direct sun, FDM. And the resin printers, I'd like to have a silicon mat down, a station for my filtering that's nice and not on the floor. Yeah, and then I'd like some recycling bins that are organized like PETG, PLA, ABS, so that when I pull anything off, I can store them accordingly, and then I can send them in, get them recycled, and produce less waste. And then this is sort of filament storage right now. It was more storagey, but needed access to the attic, and it's through there. That's why this is here. But yeah, some sort of better storage in here. Maybe like 2 bars that the rolls sit on. It is quite humid here, so I don't like letting them sit out. But we'll figure something out. And now the office. This is it. This is the whole room. I did a little tour of it on my TikTok a while ago, but it is small and kind of useless shaped. There's a tiny little storage area here, which is just, again, jammed full of stuff when I moved. Yeah, I think this is the room I'm going to do first. There's some interviews that I have coming up, and I want there to be some sort of display area for, like, you know, pepper box and washing machine and like stuff that I've made. So when I do an interview or I do any sort of like Zoom call with people, business related, I have stuff in the background that I've made, as opposed to just blank white wall. I don't want to block the window. That's my only thing. I thought about desk here, but with how wide the monitors are, it would basically come to like right at the edge of the window if I was to cheat them over here, or right to this edge if I cheat them over here, both of which suck. So my thinking now is an L shape comes all the way through to here, basically cuts off the last couple shelves, they will just be like under desk storage, deeper stuff that I don't really need. And then have a really thin, like maybe 8 inches of shelf that continues out this way, that I can have spots for like small stuff like pens, my micrometer, stuff that's like I want easy to reach, but I don't want a large desk there, and I don't really want like a corner that I sit into. I'm going to rotate this guy more over so that he maybe comes to like here, and then sort of cheat this all in, and then I can hopefully get my Wacom drawable tablet up onto the desk, which again, I have to, anytime I want to use it, I have to set it up and then I have to take it down because obviously not enough desk space. But then I want to put some shelves in this corner, I think, sort of little triangles. And that way when the webcam is looking this way, once everything's sort of moved over a little bit, it'll look more like into the corner, catch the corner, as opposed to like this way. Yeah, shelves there, they might be a little bit L-shaped. There I can have my stuff, so it's in the background and more interesting. And then I still get access to my window, which is important because this room has no vents or anything. So the only airflow I get is through the door, through the window. Yeah, so we're gonna start here. I think it shouldn't be the most difficult thing, but it's gonna be a little bit difficult. I'm thinking about using 3/4 inch ply, some sort of nicer birch ply or something, like lots of layers. Do it nice, sand it flat, or not sand it flat, but sand it soft. And then for legs, my previous desk at my previous office, like not the workshop, I had it mounted to the wall, which I really like because then there's no legs. So I'd like to look at doing that again. I'll have to see where my studs are, but that works really well for me. I really like that. Then it's this empty space that's clean. Something else I want to do is this won't be mounted to the desk. The desk will be against the wall with maybe like a hole or two for cords out the back, but that will get mounted onto a piece of wood, which is just mounted to a stud, which will like pull this up and off the desk, so the desk will look more clean. Yeah, wow, my desk is filthy. Well, what else is new? Yeah, that's sort of it then. And then this stuff will obviously get sorted out. Cords will go to the right places. It won't look like this. It doesn't generally look like this. I literally just pulled something out of here before I started shooting, so that's why that's there. Don't judge me. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole plan. Gonna start here in the office, do this stuff, then I think shop most likely, the table against the back wall, and sorting out lighting so that I enjoy being down there more. Because, you know, summer's here. It's nice. It's sunny all the time outside. Not all the time. A lot of the time it's sunny. And then I have to go into a basement and it's dark, and I don't like that. I want it to be like good, and make my brain feel good, because that's really all this is just I make stuff because my brain needs to feel good, and moving my hands is it's like one of the only ways that makes that happen. That and being physically active. But yeah, let's not go down that tunnel. Yeah, we're gonna build some stuff, so stay tuned.